Hello and welcome back to Oba's Trending Gist. Today, we are diving deep into the corridors of power to understand the real battles shaping the Tinubu's administration. What if the widespread anger and economic hardship we see aren't just about policy, but about a powerful hidden mafia fighting back because their party has been crushed? In a very revealing interview with Seun Okinbaloye on Mike on podcast, former minister and a key APC figure Sunday Diary lays out a stunning argument. He claims President Tinubu's bold reforms on fuel subsidy and the naira didn't affect the common man. They directly cut off a massive financial pipeline for a powerful and entrenched establishment. Let us watch the first part of this explosive conversation and hear him explain who these people are and why they will never forgive the president. So sit back and take a watch.
Where have they and they should step forward?
Why is it?
Where have they earned the power to speak for Nigerian people?
What part of the bear has Bola Tinubu poked? But it does look like he has annoyed the establishment.
So, fundamental question. Look at the reforms that are ongoing. Look at the reforms. Take the oil sector. You know, some of these things are off the radar. You know how many people benefit from the subsidy value chain? Nigerians from all parts of the country. I don't want to characterize them as the oil mafia or whatever, but we know there are people who even tried to stop that oil subsidy. Let's move closer. The floating of the naira, the arbitrage. Billionaires were created within months under the previous government. The arbitrage was massive. Bola Tinubu had the choice to let it go. Let it go on. Let the party go on. Everybody will have benefited. In any case, it went on that time. But he put a stop to it. In that chain, there are people up to today who will never forgive Bola Tinubu for floating the naira and removing the subsidy from Forex.
And that's one of the anger, the part of the anger.
That's it. You see, it's about, when you're fighting Bola Tinubu, that fight better be a fight about ideas and about his policies, not about some personal grudge. I can identify people who simply are not happy that Bola Tinubu had the temerity to pick a Nigerian, I won't even say a Muslim, as his running mate. There are people who simply, because of some personal grudge, they've seen an opportunity to attack him. Like I said, if you want to fight Bola Tinubu, it's better you fight him on the basis of his policies, on the basis of his convictions. And the leader has a right to have a conviction. Every leader comes and says, this is where I want to go. And you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's why you elected him in the first place.
But why does it look like Tinubu chased out the Buhari Boys?
Wow. So, according to Sunday Diary, there are two major battle fronts. First, the subsidy value chain, which he suggests was a cash cow for people across the country. And second, the Forex arbitrage, which he claims created billionaires in months under the previous government. He essentially saying that by ending these two things, President Tinubu declared war on a powerful cabal. But Seun Okinbaloye pushes back with a different angle, asking if this is just about replacing one group with another, the so-called Buhari Boys with the Lagos Boys. This is where it gets even more interesting. Is this fight for a Nigerian soul or just a fight for political spoils? Let's watch Sunday Diary response. Take a watch.
And he's bringing on board the Lagos Boys.
Who are the Buhari Boys?
Well, the CPC block of the ASPC.
Well, you see, when a new government comes in, and is also constitutional, the right of the president to build his cabinet, you can't take it away. Those he has brought into, I think the first criteria for you to be appointed is the fact that you're a Nigerian. It's not whether you're a Tinubu boy or a Buhari boy. That's the first criteria.
But all of the major pillars of the economy are being manned by the so-called Lagos Boys and the Tinubu Boys.
Well, as a leader, you must also bring in lieutenants that you trust. When he was governor,
that could only be from his rank.
When he was governor, we have people that served him, and over the years, they've been with him throughout the journey. So, if somebody builds And we stay within the realm of journalism. You build a media house, a radio station, a TV station. Very often you will remember somebody you worked with somewhere 20 years ago to say, this guy was the best cameraman I had, bring him on board. This person was the best interviewer I had, you look for him. And I think every leader does that. So this classification of, my point is this, I don't think there's been any deliberate attempt.
And that's breaking the ranks of the APC so far.
Let me give you an example. In CPC, you had Northerners from North Central, Northeast. You had Christians, you had Muslims, you had Igbos, you had Hausas, Yorubas in CPC. So sometimes when you hear CPC, there's a perception that people try to say, oh, it's a northern thing. It was a party. That's one. Two, in this government, the SGF served Nigeria under Buhari. And when you get these appointments, you take an oath. The oath you take and you sign is not to Buhari or Obasanjo or any president. That oath you take is to the Nigerian Constitution and the Nigerian people who will judge you.
Well, Mr. Adari, how do you're managing?
All right, so a lot to unpack there. Let us break it down. Sunday Dairy's critical points and what they truly means for Nigeria. His central argument is that President Tinubu's administration is facing a calculated and fierce backlash, not just from the opposition or ordinary citizens suffering from the reforms, but from an internal powerful bloc whose illicit wealth has been dismantled. He calls them the oil mafia and the Forex arbitrage beneficiaries. To him, the fight against Tinubu is personal for these people because their free money party is over. He argues that when you want to judge Tinubu, you must see his actions through this lens as a leader who had the temerity, as he put it, to stop the rot, knowing it will make him powerful enemies. Now, on the second point about the Buhari Boys versus the Lagos Boys, Dairy's defense is a classic political argument. He says every leader, from a media house CEO to a country's president, has the right to appoint trusted lieutenants, people who have been with them through the journey and who they believe can deliver. He frames it as a matter of competence and loyalty, not a regional or factional takeover. He insists the primary qualification is being a Nigerian fit for the job, and that these appointees swear an oath to Nigeria, not to Tinubu. But here's the critical take. While Dairy's explanation of an aggrieved cabal is compelling and likely holds a lot of truth, the public perception of a Lagos takeover is also powerful for a reason. Key pillars of the economy and security are now overseen by men who have been Tinubu's long-term allies. So the question becomes, is it possible for both things to be true? Could it be that President Tinubu's genuinely fighting a corrupt system while also consolidating power with his most trusted allies? This is the complex reality of governance in Nigeria. A leader needs loyalties to survive political battles, but the country needs broad, inclusive competence to strive. The challenge is balancing the two. Sunday Dairy's perspective gives us a vital look into the thinking of the presidency's inner circle. They believe they are fighting a noble war against entrenched corruption, and the noise we hear is the sound of the corrupt fighting back. But for the average Nigerian struggling to buy fuel or food, the big question remains, when will this noble war translate into relief for them? That's our gist for now. It's a complex situation with no easy answer. What do you think? Is Sunday Dairy right? Is there a powerful mafia fighting back against the president, or is this just an excuse for the current hardship? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I read every single one. And if you found this analysis insightful, please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to Obas Trending Gist, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss our deep dive into stories that matters. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.